great. So finding a comfortable position here, wherever you are in your home, sitting on any cushions or blankets, bolsters that help support your hips. And ideally, we want our knees below our hips. If they're up here, then sit on something higher or readjust yourself so that we're able to let proper blood flow happen down into our legs. Right. Then close your eyes. And just take a couple of deep breaths in your inner landscape. If you were to paint a picture of your inner world this morning, what would it look like? Just breathing in that curiosity, like your entire lens went inward. If you were to paint a picture of your inner landscape, what would it look like? And breathe. Just coming back to the breath. And taking a deep inhale in. And take a deep exhale out, empty all your breath. One more with the hands to the sides. Inhale, reach out and up to the sky. Exhale it out. Take your left hand to your right knee. Take your right hand behind your back. Inhale, elongate your spine. Exhale, draw the shoulder blade back and open up your chest, your heart. As you inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, shoulder draws back. A little bit of a twist here in your spine. Taking gentle breath in your body. Let your jaw relax. One more moment here. Unwind back to center. Switching sides, taking the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind your back. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, draw the left shoulder blade back, opening up your chest, your heart. Inflating as you inhale, surrendering as you exhale. And breathe. And then exhale back to center. Take the shoulders up to your ears. Just get a little bit of a movement in your shoulders here, freeing up that space around your neck. And you can even move your chest forward and back. You can let your head maybe move side to side. Like just take a few moments to explore how that would be to move the neck and the shoulders in a way that feels like it's unraveling your body. Great. And then come back to center. Take your elbows into your chest. Let your palms touch, curl in. And as you inhale, open about to the sides. Let your chest open. Exhale, draw the belly back around your spine. Curl it in. And one more. Inhale, open. And exhale it back. Inhale, open, and take your arms out to the sides. Press out your ring and your pinky finger. Reach them out. Draw your shoulders back open, the chest. Your palms are facing up to the sky. So taking a couple breaths like this, let your palms face up. So there's a little rotation in your shoulders. And then as you exhale, turn your palms forward and down to the floor. This little movement. It's almost like turning a key. And then inhale, turn the palms back up to the sky. Press out your pinky and your ring finger. Maybe the chest gets a little bit of a lift. And then inhale, arms press up to the sky. Let your palms touch, and then let hands come down in front of your heart center. Pausing. Now letting the shoulders release down the back a little bit more. The outer edges of the thumb touch the breastbone, the center of your chest. And you can feel your body inflating as you breathe. Jaw is soft. Setting an intention for your practice today. One thing you'd like to cultivate or call into your life. And we'll seal that with one Om, taking a deep inhale in. Take a deep exhale out, empty all of your breath. Inhaling in for Om. Take your hands down to the floor in front of you. Open your fingers wide and come right into downward dog. So open up the fingers, curl the toes under, let your hips lift up to the sky, feeling that spaciousness through your body. Opening the fingers wide, press into the knuckles of the thumb and the pointer finger. Bend one knee and straighten the opposite leg. So you're just walking your feet back and forth, opening up your calves. Yes. Great. And then take your knees down to the floor. Inhale, let your chest come forward, open it up. Exhale, belly draws up round your spine, curl it in. Inhale to open. Exhale, belly draws up, curl it in. One more. And exhale it out. Coming back to neutral. Take your right foot out, take your left leg back. Right hand is in your center, and the left arm lifts up to the sky, opening your chest. Shoulder blades on the back, big circle with your left arm. So just moving that left arm in a big circle here. So the shoulder joint gets to open up this morning. Yeah. And then extend that arm out, lengthen all the way from fingertip to toe. And then take your foot up off of the floor so there's a little bit of strength and integrity. And then exhale, left knee, left elbow, come into touch. Inhale, open up. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, open. One more at your own pace, letting your body move with that rhythm of your breath. Open it up. Exhale, foot down to the floor, hand comes down to the floor. Bring your knees back onto the ground so they're parallel to one another. And then take your left leg back and take it over top of that right foot. So you're just gonna cross it over. Let your sides lengthen, look over that right shoulder towards your toes, and that whole left side of the body starts to open. So as you inhale, ribs lengthen. As you exhale, turn, look at your toes. You might even press the hips to the left and really open up that outer edge of the left hip. Draw the belly up slightly. Breathe into that low back. Keep breathing here. One more moment. And then exhale, come back to center. Good. Bring your shins parallel to one another. Curl the toes under, lift your hips up to the sky, downward dog. Pressing the hands into the floor, feeling that length. And then slide both of your heels over to the right and bend your knees so that left side of the body opens. Inhale, come back to center, sliding your heels over to the left, bend your knees. Inhale, back to center. Lengthen out the sides, hips a lift up, heels down and back. Exhale, knees down to the floor. Inhale, lift up into cow. Exhale into cat. Great. And then switching sides, taking your left foot out 45 degrees. Take your right leg straight back. Left hand on the floor, right arm floats up to the sky, opening up. Big circle with your right arm. Take your hand to your leg. Down towards the floor and sweeping it back up. Just big movement here, breathing and opening up that shoulder joint. Excellent. And then take that right arm over top of the head and lengthen out that whole side of your body. Breathing here. Great. Foot lifts up off the floor. Exhale, elbow and knee come in to touch. Inhale to open. Exhale, draw them in. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, open. Exhale, foot to the floor, hand comes to the floor, shins come back down onto the ground. Extend that right leg behind you, cross it over top of the left foot. Elongate your sides, turn, look over that left shoulder. Your hip is going to press to the right. Your belly is going to draw up as if there's a hammock in your low belly, lifting it up. Elongate, look over the shoulder, see the toes here. Excellent. And then unravel and come back to center. Take your shins down onto the floor, curl the toes under, lift your hips up to the sky. Great. Now take your feet, open them up wide, bend your knees, let your ribs come back to your thighs, and then walk your hands back to your feet and fold it down. Uttanasana, shake the head out. Let your whole spine start to unravel. Shake it out, open it up. A couple more breaths, let yourself unwind here. And then take your hands to your hips. Press your feet into the floor and lift yourself up to standing. Great. Take your arms down to the sides and you're going to inhale. Take your right arm up. Bend your elbow so the hand comes between your shoulder blades. Left arm is going to come up to grab your elbow. Drawing the hand slightly in between your shoulders and then lean over to the left. Letting that whole right side open. Opening up in the tricep. Opening up in that lateral shoulder. Letting your body fold to the left here. Deep breath. Great. Inhale back up to center. Switching and just release that arm. So you're going to take that arm behind your back now and take your hand and help pull the fingers up. Grab that arm in and just take a moment and breathe. And you want to take that right shoulder back slightly. So with the left hand, you can actually take the left hand onto your shoulder here and just give your shoulder a little bit of a drawback, a little bit of an opening of our chest. And then exhale, releasing that arm. Come into a little roll of your shoulders there. Standing, noticing that shoulder can probably drop down quite a bit more. Second side, inhale, left arm up. Bend your elbow, hand between the shoulder blades. Take your right hand on your elbow and draw it into the center. And then lean over to the right. And breathe into that side body. You can press the elbow up into your hand as you lengthen here. Let your tricep open. Let the whole side body open. Great. And then inhale, come up to center. Releasing the arm, taking the hand behind your back, and just kind of working the fingertips up somewhat between the shoulder blade. And then draw your left shoulder back. Take the right hand onto the front of your shoulder. Give it a little bit of a length. And then let that left shoulder blade just start to draw back here. And if you feel a sharp pain, then go slowly or back off a little bit. Right, here we are. And then exhale and just release that arm. Wonderful. Take your shoulders up to your ears, let them come down your back. And then one more from standing here before we move around. You're going to take your hands behind your back now and move them over to the left. Okay. Now draw your elbows towards one another and take your left ear to your shoulder. And as your ear comes to the shoulder, you're going to feel this length happening from the right ear all the way over to the shoulder. And then slowly rotate your chin up to the ceiling, just very gentle. And then bring your ear to your shoulder and very gentle, let your chin start to rotate into your chest. And again, slowly moving here, just working the muscles in the side of the neck, ever so slowly, consciously. Right, and then your chin will come down into your chest. Hands come over to the right side. Draw your elbows together. Take the right ear to the shoulder. And then lengthen out of that left side of your neck. And breathe. Chin rotates up to the ceiling, opening the side of the neck. Ear to the shoulder, chin rotates down into the chest. And just one more like that, ear to the shoulder, and lift up your chin, opening it up. Ear to the shoulder, and chin comes down into the chest. Releasing the hands, taking the hands onto the forehead and lift. Great. Hands are going to come behind your back. Clasp your hands, draw those shoulders back. Let your chest open. Bend your knees and take your belly down to your thighs and press the hands up to the ceiling. Squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Keep reaching the hands up and over top of the head, folding it in. Lengthen your sides. Keep letting your ribs come into your thighs. Fold it in. Reach the hands up to the ceiling over top of your head. Great. And then rising up, press the feet into the floor and lift yourself up one vertebra at a time. Ooh, and come into a little roll of your shoulders. Good morning to your upper body. Hopefully a lot more light and spacious. And then placing your blocks at the front of your mat. So finding your blocks, placing them up at the front of your mat. If you don't have them, it's okay. I'll work you through it without them. And then come up to standing. Hands are going to come to the heart center. Shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, arms come down to the sides. Inhale, take them out and up. Opening up your arms, hinging forward here, Uttanasana. Taking your hands on the blocks, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, take your right leg back. Come into a high lunge here. Inhale, let your chest open. Exhale, take your hips up to the sky, round in over the left leg. Inhale, forward to lunge. Exhale, hips lift, round it in. One more. Exhale it up. And come back to a neutral position here. Right knee is going to come down onto the floor. Let your hips start to press forward. Let your shoulders release down the back, opening up that right hip flexor. So there's really an internal adjustment that helps you get into this. If you feel like your left shin is drawing forward, and your right hamstring is drawing back, then that creates that spaciousness, a little bit of a spread in the pelvis. Take that left shin forward, take the right thigh back, deep breath here. Good. Wonderful. One more breath, just feeling that, finding that in kind of internal spreading that helps you get a little deeper. And then come back to neutral. Lift that right knee up off the floor. Take your back foot forward about 6 to 8 inches so that your heel can come onto the ground and lower down over top of the left leg. Shoulders are down your back. The whole body is starting to soften here. Your left thigh is going to draw up and back as you extend your sides and everything starts to melt. Each inhale you extend, each exhale, everything starts to soften. Moving down into the thigh. Let your neck be long, let your jaw be long. And taking 3 breaths here as that left thigh draws up and back. Sides extend, belly comes down, and breathe. Inhale, lift up your chest. Great. Taking that back leg forward, fold down, Uttanasana. Take the hands to the shins. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Pressing the feet into the floor. Take the arms out to the sides. Reach out and up to the sky, clasping. Actually, grab your left wrist. And then press the left palm up. Lean over to the right, giving that left side body a nice opening. Inhale, come back up to center. Grab that right wrist and lean over to the left. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, open the arms, hinge forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, left leg comes back, high lunge here. Hands are on the blocks. We're gonna move with our hips. So inhale, the chest is gonna come forward. Exhale, hips are gonna lift up, round in over top of the right leg. Inhale, forward to lunge. Exhale, hips lift up to the sky. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, hips lift. Coming back to neutral. Left knee is going to come down onto the floor. Let your hips come forward. Shoulders are down your back. So let that right shin track forward. Let the left inner thigh track back. Let your left hamstring track back. Shoulders are down away from your ears. The jaw is relaxed. Taking about 3 full breaths here. Just noticing each inhale, maybe you spread apart a little bit more, and then each exhale, you settle into the pose. Right. And then come back to neutral. Take your hands onto the blocks. Curl the left toes under. Lift that left knee up off the floor and bring that back foot forward. Heel comes to the ground. Extend your sides and lower down over top of that right leg. Your shoulders are down your back. The neck is nice and long. Pull the right thigh up. Pull the right thigh back. Exhale, fold. And as you fold, the jaw is going to relax. The neck is going to relax. Breathing into the ribs, breathing into the low back here. Each exhale, surrendering in a little deeper. Great. And then inhale, lift up your chest and bring that back foot forward. Good. Fold it down, Uttanasana, moving the blocks out of the way. Take the hands onto your shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold back down and in, belly to the thighs. Bend your knees this time. Take your arms out to the sides, reach all the way back up to standing. Exhale, hands come down through the center line of your body. Take your hands onto the back of your hips so that your thumbs are right around your sacrum. Draw the elbows towards one another. Give the hips a little press down. Lift up your chest. Nice deep breath. Good. And then exhale, swan dive the chest forward. Hands come to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step or jump into your plank. Good. Pausing in plank here. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring the right knee into the belly, forehead to the knee. Inhale, take it out. Exhale, right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, open it up, downward dog, right leg lifts. Exhale, release that right foot. Inhale, left leg up. Come to plank. Exhale, left knee to the belly. Inhale, open it out. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, leg up to the sky, three-legged downward dog. Foot comes down to the floor. Bend the knees and take the elbows by the ribs. Lower your chest down to the floor. Inhale, scoop it through, low cobra. Let your shoulders draw back, let your heart lift. Exhale, lower back down. Take your hands off the sides of your mat. So you're gonna come onto your fingertips, elbows are bent. Draw the shoulder blades into the back of the heart and then lift yourself up here. Chest is going to come forward. Squeeze the shoulders onto the back. Exhale, release it down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, reach back, child's pose. Great. Inhale up to the hands and knees. We're just going to flow through that again. So bend your elbows back by the ribs. Chest comes down. Inhale, scoop that chest through and up, maybe into a high cobra this time. Exhale, hips lift up to the sky. Curling the toes under, coming into downward dog, pressing the hands to the floor, lifting it up. Inhale, gaze to the hands. Exhale, step or jump feet up to the front. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Make sure your big toe mounds are touching, heels are slightly separated. Bend the knees, arms come up to the sky. Utkatasana, chair pose. Yes, good. So big toe mounds touch, heels are slightly separated, and that's alignment for your feet. Knees are gonna bend here. Arms are up to the sky. Clasp your hands, let your pointer finger face up to the ceiling. Arms slightly draw back. Good, and then exhale, come down into that bend. Take your right elbow outside, the left knee, belly over top of your thigh. And then turn the torso to the left, come into a little twist here. Palms are gonna touch. Lengthen your sides. Let your hips come down a little deeper, really finding where your edge is. And then let your right arm come down towards the floor as your left arm lifts up to the sky, if that's available. If not, keep your palms touching. Okay, but come into a big twist here, opening up. Exhale, back to center. Straighten the legs, fold forward, Uttanasana. And bending the knees, arms come back up to the sky, Utkatasana, finding the balance here. Big toe mound, little toe mound, center of the heel. Exhale, hips back. Left elbow outside the right knee, belly over top of the thigh. Extend your sides, turn the heart to your hands. Let your hips lower a little bit more here. Each inhale, the sides are extending. Each exhale, twisting a little bit deeper. Great, now you could stay right here, or you could open your arms up. Press off the thigh, twist, opening your body. One more breath. Good. And then exhale back to center, fold it down. Ooh, a little fire in our legs. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands on the shins. Exhale, fold back down. Press the feet to the floor. Take your arms out to the sides and up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down through midline. Release the arms. Inhale, take them out and up. Open the arms, hinge forward here. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, take your right leg back. Okay, good. And come up to high lunge. Your arms come out to the sides, lifting yourself up here. Shoulders are on your back, bending that front leg. Finding a little bit of strength here. So the front knee is tracking towards the center of that front foot. Yes, right heel is facing the ceiling. Bring your palms together, pointer finger faces the ceiling, and the arms draw back and the chest opens. Deep breath. Great. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. And you're going to take your hands to the right side of your front foot. So both hands come to the right side of that front foot. And lower down here. Keep that left knee in towards the shoulder. And now press that right thigh up to the sky really strong. Just press it up, press it up. Good. And then bring the right knee down to the ground. Right knee might draw back, left shin might draw forward. Beautiful stretch. Good. So then curl your left toes up to your shin. You want to do that to protect your ankle. And then roll to the outer edge of your left foot. So you're literally opening your knee up out to the side here. Yes. But you want to keep those toes curled up to your shin. That's going to protect your ankle. And the body's just moving from side to side, finding where you can create a little bit of space. Is there anywhere that's tight in here? And just exploring our own body. And then when you come back to neutral, we're going to drop into a stretch. Sometimes I keep my arms straight, especially if I don't have blocks. Otherwise, you might put a block to the right side of that front foot, come down onto your forearms, and come into a pretty big stretch here. Yeah, heart is going to soften. Shoulder blades are going to be on your back. Relax your jaw. Good. Soften the jaw. Let your heart relax here. A couple deep breaths. Yeah, finding where your edge is. Wonderful. One more breath. You've got this. And then start to straighten your arms. Ooh, wonderful. Curl the back toes under and lift up into downward dog. So back knee is going to lift up. Take your time coming into downward dog. Let your fingers open wide. Lengthen your sides and breathe here. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down slowly, chaturanga. Inhale, heart scoops through and you open. Exhale, hips lift to the sky, downward dog. Spread the fingers wide here. Lengthen your sides, let your inner thighs draw back, let your underarms face one another. Inhale, send the gaze to your hands. Exhale, step or jump the feet up to the front. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Press the feet to the floor. Arms come out to the sides, reach out and up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down through the center line and down through the heart. Pausing. Good. We're going to do that whole set on the other side. So release the arms. Inhale, take them out and up. Open the arms, hinge forward, Uttanasana. Left leg comes back. High lunge, lift it up here. Right knee is bending, left leg is strong, palms together. Pointer finger faces the ceiling, arms draw back, chest is open. Full breath. Good power in that left leg. Exhale, hands to the floor. Great. Take them to the left side of that front foot. Keep your left knee in towards the shoulder. Left leg is strong and powerful. And then left knee down to the ground. We're going to open up our hip. So you're going to take those right toes and curl them up to your shin. So you want to really curl those toes up to protect that ankle. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot and rock from left to right a couple times. Like you're flossing the hips, opening them up. Great. And just noticing where you feel tight along the way, giving that space a little bit more attention. Good. And then the sole of the foot comes onto the floor, and you might keep your arms straight here, especially if you don't have a block. If it works for you, then place a block down and let your arms come down and come into a pretty big stretch into your hips here. And it's nice if the elbows are supported by the block, the elbows, forearms, yeah, so that you can have the shoulders on your back and you can breathe. Notice if there's somewhere that you defer tension in your body. Is it possible to relax your jaw more? Is it possible to relax your eyes more? Really being with it. Another deep breath. And then straighten your arms. Woo. This time we're going to come into a straddle. So when you lift up that left knee, just walk the hands to the left and come into a straddle here. Leveling this out. Take the pointer and middle finger around your big toes. Draw the elbows left to right and pour yourself in. Just make sure your feet are in alignment with one another. If you need to adjust your feet, please do. The way we keep the shoulders on the back is by drawing the elbows left and right and feeling like the shoulder blades literally glide onto the back. The ribs are going to extend and the whole belly starts to come into your thighs. And you can breathe into your side body. You can breathe into your lower back. Maybe even shake your head out a little bit. But let everything start to pour in. Shake the head out, yeah. Let your jaw release. Good. And then start to lift up. Take your hands underneath your chest. Now bend your left knee and just walk the hands over. Give that inner groin a nice opening. And you might stay pretty high here, how I'm pretty lifted. Okay, you might take the right toes up to the sky and come down really deep. So it's up to you. Our knees oftentimes don't like this. So I'm just going the direction you're going. It doesn't matter which side you're on. We'll do both sides. So you might be down pretty deep with the stretched out toes facing the ceiling, or you are lifted here and just over to the side. Now let's switch sides. Walk the hands to the other side. Inner groin gets a nice opening here. You could have your hands on blocks. Yep. And you're just bending one knee and the other leg is straight to get into the inner groin. Yep. And if you feel okay to go down deeper, you might come all the way down and let the toes face the sky. But that can be much on this knee, so take your time. Just getting into the inner groin. Inhale, come back up to center. Wonderful. Now we're going to turn our left toes towards the short end of the mat. Leave the left hand on the floor, right hand to the low back, lengthen your sides and turn your chest. So you're turning your chest away from your toes, extending your sides, letting your heart draw up, shoulder blades are on your back. That whole inner groin is getting a little bit of an opening here. Yeah, and you could extend your arm up to the ceiling if that feels okay on your shoulders. We started with quite a bit of shoulder opening today. So just listen. Can you stay in that comfort of the shoulders? Exhale, left or right hand comes back down. Turn the toes to the side. Turn the right toes to face the short end of your mat. Right hand remains on the floor, left hand to the low back, extending, turning the chest away from the toes. So the shoulder blades draw onto the back, the sides extend. The heart is turning away from the toes here. And we're breathing. The sides extend, the heart opens. Full breath. And you can leave your hand on the low back, or you could take your arm up to the sky and twist and open. Great. Exhale back to center. Both toes face the side, and then walk your hands in between your feet. Big stretch here, opening it all up. And then hands are going to come to your hips as you press the feet into the floor and you lift yourself back up. Whew. Heels are going to come in, toes come out. Bring your hands to the inner thighs. Pressing into your inner thigh, twisting the torso. Back to the center. Press into the other leg, twisting the torso. Back to center. And then come back up to standing. Take your toes in, take your heels in. Ooh, give your legs a little shake, shaking all of that out. Good, and we're gonna come onto our back and do a little bit with the lateral hip and a little bit more with the hip flexor and your psoas. So come on down to your back here. If you have a block, that's ideal. If you don't, it's okay. If there's anything you can put underneath your hips to lift them up, that's going to be helpful. Okay. So, but at first, just come onto your back and take your knees and open, walk your feet out so your feet are as wide as your mat. And you're going to take both knees over to the left and take your right arm over top of the head. First getting into the outer hip a little bit, maybe that lateral thigh. You could be right here. If you wanted to go deeper, you could pick the left foot up, place it to the outside of your right knee, and give your right knee a nice press down to the floor. And as you press that knee down to the floor, it's opening up that outer right hip. Yeah. So just finding your positioning. And then inhale and come back to center. And take the knees over to the right and take your left arm over top of your head. Now tuck your shoulder blades under so that they're somewhat flat on the floor. And breathe into the outer edge of your hip. Soften your eyes. Soften your cheeks and your jaw here. Now you could stay right here, or you could pick your right foot up, place it to the outside of your left knee, and give your left knee a press down to the floor. Now, if this hurts your low back at all, then leave your foot on the ground, right? And don't do this piece. Each exhale, it's like everything is softening down to the floor here. And then release the foot off of the knee. Inhale, legs are going to come up to center. Pick your hips up and realign your pelvis. Great. And we're just going to do a little movement of the pelvis. As you inhale, feel like there's a string on your belly button that's getting pulled up to the sky. So the small of the back is lifting. As you exhale, the lower belly is going to pull down to the floor. The pubic bone actually starts to curl up and we tend to hollow out. So 2 of these. Inhale, belly's gonna lift. Exhale, draw it back down, and you're just rocking on your sacrum here. And this will help release any tension in the low back. One more like that. And exhale, let it release. Good. Now, if you have a block, great. If not, anything that you can place underneath your hips to lift them up is going to be helpful. And we're going to put it at the lowest setting first. So just go ahead and place that underneath you and let your sacrum get settled. If you have some books, that works. You can roll up a blanket. You can use a cushion from your couch. Oftentimes those are a little more firm. Okay. Now take your feet up off the floor. So our hips are a little more elevated, and then rock from left to right a couple times as if you're giving a massage to the sacrum, you're giving a massage to that low back. Yeah. Notice where you feel places that are a little tight. There might be some tension. You're giving them a little bit of a massage, some love here. All right, so here we go. We're gonna grab onto our right shin, okay, and just draw that right leg into the chest. You'll notice, can you find the top of your pelvis, right? And then come back to neutral so that you're feeling your sacrum on the floor. And then extend your left leg out and flex your foot and then lower your leg. So it's like your leg is coming straight out. It's hovering over top of the floor. And this is a little bit of core first. I'm gonna pull that right knee down, press your left heel out, little bit of a core action. And now switch sides, draw your belly down and then bring your left leg up. So you engage the core first. Hold on to the left shin, take your right leg out. Good. Draw the left knee up. The right foot is hovering over the floor, so there's a little bit of strength in your core here. And now exhale, bring both legs in. Okay, so that's an option. You can always come back to that. Bring the hands onto the right shin. Now take your left leg out, and you're gonna lower your left leg all the way down onto the floor if possible. And this will open up the left hip, maybe even into your psoas. Draw the right knee up to your shoulder. Now press your left heel out and away, literally as if your left heel is pressing into the gas pedal, like pushing it away. That presses the left thigh bone down and starts to open up the upper left hip there. Okay, let your shoulders tuck into the center. Maybe your shoulders can relax. Maybe your jaw can relax. And then kind of play with where your right knee wants to be. You might draw your right knee out to the side more and up. Find where you can get sensation in that front left hip. Sometimes pulling the knee out to the side makes me feel it a little more. Good. 2 more breaths here. Really pressing that left heel away. If this does not feel okay on your low back, then your left foot doesn't have to touch the floor. Keep it hovering. Or you could place an object underneath your left foot for it to rest on, so it's not all the way down on the floor. And then we want to use our core to come out. So draw your belly down first and then pull that left leg back up. Woo. Straighten your right leg up to the sky. Straighten your left leg up to the sky. A couple circles with your feet. Just kind of opening up the ankle points, getting a little bit of blood flow after that. All right, and then we're gonna switch sides. So bend your left knee, grab onto your shin, and lower your right leg. Let it hover first, just checking in, making sure the block's in a good position. And then you can take the right heel onto the floor for the deepest stretch. If that's too much or it doesn't feel good on your low back, you could always place a book or something underneath your foot. Or you could leave your foot elevated. Okay, left knee is gonna draw to your left shoulder, tucking the shoulder blades in. Let your shoulders get heavy down to the ground. Let your jaw relax. Feel breath in your belly. And as you're breathing in your belly, your eyes are relaxing. The jaw is relaxing. Feel that rise and fall of the breath in the belly. And you might take your left knee out to the side more. Kind of playing with where that left knee wants to be in order to open up. And come back to neutral. Draw the left thigh down. Press that right heel away. Press the right leg down to the floor. Good. And then draw the belly down. Let your right leg come to center. Let your knees rock side to side as if you're putting a little pressure point action into that low back. Straightening your legs up to the sky. Draw the legs into the belly, legs away. And so just pulse a couple times, legs in, legs away. And the block, if you're on a block, will get a little massage in that lower back. If you're using something else, just take care of your body. Yeah. Good. And then pausing at that straight up position. Taking 3 breaths in an inversion, letting blood flow draw down to your internal organs, letting any lactic acid in your lower body drain itself out here. And starting to come into a breath that feels even more releasing to you. Maybe you start to exhale out of the mouth. And then bending your knees and taking your feet down to the floor, lifting your hips up, remove the block, and we just want our hips to settle on the ground after that. It's a pretty decent time lifted. Let your hands come onto your belly, let your shoulders tuck into the center. Before Shavasana, we're going to come into a happy baby, a moving happy baby. So make sure your back's in a good position. Bend both of your knees up to your shoulders. Take your arms inside your legs and see if you can grab the outer edges of your feet. If that's not happening, you could always grab your shins and let your legs get heavy this way. Okay? If you can grab the outer edges of your feet, then take your feet to face the ceiling. Happy baby, like we're grabbing our feet and start to rock from side to side, giving your back a massage. And then we're going to add a little piece. So whatever side you're rocking on, start to straighten that leg out. Woo, inner groin, come back to center. And start to straighten out the leg that's closer to the floor. Just adding that extra piece in. And then we'll come back to neutral. See if you can bring the soles of your feet together. So you have to lift your shoulders up off the floor. See if you can wrap your hands around the outer edges of your feet and pull the feet down to your belly and take your shoulders and the back of your head down to the floor. And this can get a big stretch into the low back, a big stretch into the hips and the groin. Let your jaw relax. Like you're taking a breath of fresh air. And then releasing out and just listening if there's anything that your body really needs before Shavasana. We've done some twisting today. I was going to keep the sacroiliac joint level after all those moves. But listen, if you want to do a twist or if there's something your body's really asking for, please set yourself up. If your low back is feeling sensitive today, I encourage you to put something underneath your knees. It gives you a little bit of a lift. And you tuck the shoulder blades under, coming into Shavasana today. Shavasana is this beautiful place in our practice where everything gets to settle. We don't have to think about putting this foot here or that foot there. So as you exhale, you notice your bones in your body. as if your bones are getting heavier. No matter where you are in your journey of letting go, bones are getting heavy. Breath is calm and steady. There's a heaviness to the lower jaw. The center of your ear releases to the floor. The inner and outer corners of your eyes let go. And you breathe. Just becoming aware of your breath and your body, as if there was no judgment. This is curiosity. How does your breath feel? Is there a sound or a taste? And to know this healer inside of you, always here, ready to bring you home, this place of peace and calm. And a gentle hint of a smile comes onto the face, relaxing the muscles of the face. Yeah. Let the jaw move around. Great. And without spilling a drop of this presence, just start to wiggle your fingertips and your toes. Even though we're integrating the physical body here, we're very present and aware of this inner landscape. And then in your own time, folding over to the right side. And then when you're ready, left hand will press into the floor as you bring yourself up to sitting one vertebra at a time. So you're just like bringing yourself in. The head comes in very last. And just pausing with your hands on your legs, letting your shoulders soften. The intention of this whole yoga asana practice, asana is the name of all the shapes, the movements. We go through this process for the moment of right here, right now. So the physical body is more open and strong to sit in meditation. So our focus and our attention to breath is richer and more accessible. So we're just going to take about 5 breaths sitting here in your own sanctuary, noticing what you're feeling. Bringing the hands together in front of your heart center. In honor of all parts of you, the painting of that inner landscape, the physical body, the mind. Sometimes the mind gets a bad rap. The mind has its really beautiful qualities when we let our heart blend with the mind. We'll seal our practice with one Om. Take a deep inhale in. Deep exhale out, empty all the breath. Inhaling in for Om. Bowing your head towards your fingertips. and truly blessing this practice, blessing this day. Namaste.
Thank you, Emily. That was so incredible.
You're welcome.
Wow.
How are you feeling?